We are starting to look to the value chain concept in the way we can include it to the trade, and that part you can see on the left side. Basically, you have farmers who are, for example, for food. You have farmers who are producing food, but before that, you have also input companies that are actually providing input for the farmers and food companies, and then the farmers are selling their food to the traders and well, retailers who directly take food from the farmers and sell in some cases. And then you have food companies that are doing processing basically, and then you have retailers, and then you have consumers. And companies take a part in a different step in this production chain. But as like companies, countries might also take different parts in chain similar to this one. Well, typically for value chain, well, you can see these are the basic processes. Well, R&D, design, logistics, production, logistics again, marketing, and post-production services. And as you see, the typical and countries take different roles in this process, and typically, starting in 1980s, developed countries, according to this chart and according to many other economists, basically take the role in pre-production phase and the post-production phase, while the production itself was left more to the developing countries, which basically also mean that people who are working in the production are less demanded in those countries, and which has a long-lasting effect for them. So basically, when you have this type of a relation, you still have trade, but trade is basically between the, developed countries sell R&D and design to the developed countries who use them or the production, and after they produce what they produce, they sell it to the foreign countries back, and the foreign countries put their brand on it and they market it and they sell it, and they also get the certain concerns, and they also the next orders for the next orders they do, they also use this post sale concerns, and they also provide some post sale services basically. So those services also not provided by the developing countries, even if those same goods, for example, Adidas is as a shoe company, is sold in the very countries that produce them. And in which different companies produce them. I mean, those foreign companies come to that foreign country, and they are the ones, not the actual companies that produce those shoes, but the companies that are providing the marketing and post-sale services are the ones that are now providing post-sale services in that developing country. So, as a development model, that this is actually taken from an article, and I am encouraging you to look to this article. I mean, it shows different Asian countries. I mean, some of them are small. Taiwan and Korea are small countries. Japan is relatively big. China is, of course, a very, very large country. And different countries having different strategies to use the value chain to start a point, get a place to create their own development. Well, if you have a national market, you might use your national market basically, and you might take place at different points in the value chain basically. That's a possibility. I mean, That national market means you have a national market, which means you can sell to the national market all type of services, post branding, final assembly, parts and component pre-production, and those companies that are using your national market are also taking place in the international market. So national market serves as a place where your company is taking at different, let's say, roles in the value chain, might basically develop and find their primary market in which they can develop themselves. Alternatively, you might want to be the company that is controlling the global value chain. You might be the company which is you might build other companies that are organizing which and giving, let's say, orders to different companies to basically do certain tasks within the value chain of a certain product. I think Korea was a country like that. So you are the company that is actually owning a brand and selling the finalized product. And within the value chain, Korea is relatively big, relatively larger country compared with Taiwan, but much smaller than Japan and China. But since your country is not sufficiently provides sufficiently large, let's say, economy, because your size is, as a country, your size is small. Whatever you rather use other companies in the other countries to take different roles in the value chain, but you decide which tasks are left to your company and which tasks are given to the foreign companies. And in some cases, certain tasks given to the foreign companies might be high value added activities, but at least you might keep certain high value added activities to yourself, and because you are the one that's making decisions, and that might be ultimately may lead you to increase the profitability of your country and basically make you a high value producing country in the world system. Alternatively, also you might basically you might not completely take control of the value chain, especially if you're a small country like Taiwan. But you might rather provide services to the other companies from other countries, but you might make sure that the services you provide are all high value added services. So you specialize in certain tasks in the value chain, but you make sure that the services you specialize in are the ones that are adding high value, not low value. So those are some development strategies taken by East Asian countries, and I would certainly encourage you to look further to them. That's a very interesting topic, actually, and very interesting, and especially when you take it with the when you connect it, especially with the world system theory. Actually, it makes kind of the world system theory more concrete, basically. I mean, and it is even global value chain is kind of introduced by not world system theory, but a very mainstream. It's a very mainstream concept, but it's also very much related to the. It's very much relatable to the world system theory concept. Well, some special concerns on the international trade. Terms of trade, I mean the value your products are creating and the value the the value of the products that you are importing. That's basically uh, one of the concerns. And we have already talked. The value chains and the World System School is pretty much talking on this, but also there is data which is looking to the this basically aspect of the international trade. Well, if the value you produce as a nation gets smaller, in the end, what you can get by, even if you sell everything you produce, what you are able to get from foreign countries will be less in quantity. On the other hand, if the value of what you produce has a larger value, then you will be able to get more from the foreign countries. So this terms of trade is very much related to your specific role in them, or your specific position in the world economic system. Trade imbalances is other thing. You are indebted or you are in surplus when you are trading with other countries. Note that a high value added country can be indebted, and there's a low value added company might be a surplus country. So they are not they are not connected with each other. Although both have specific importance, basically. And then there is MSCs. This is called medium and small sized enterprises. Well, those are small companies or medium sized companies. Medium sized companies can be not that small, actually. They employ up to 250 workers in some cases, but still, of course, their connection with the international markets and global economic system might be relatively low. Well, I would like you to introduce an internet site where you can basically see actually many different economic variables, but also ones related to the international trade. Well, for example, let's choose a country. Let's choose, for example, let's choose Turkey. You can go to, there are different ones, but you can go to trade and you can look to the balance of trade, for example. And here you can see, basically we are running negative throughout 2020, and you can actually look to what happened in, well, various different years, basically. And you can look current account to GDP, debt we had from the international trade from the to the GDP, basically. If GDP grows, of course, even if the debt is also growing, then debt to GDP ratio will decrease, basically. You have exports. You can look also to pure exports, but this is more interesting. You have exports by category. The Turkey exports more vehicles other than railway and tramway, machinery, iron and steel, than the clothing, basically. You can look to the exports by country. Germany is at the top. United Kingdom is the second. Italy is the third. Iraq is fourth. When we look to the countries from which we export. You can look to the imports by country. Minerals, fuels, oil is at the top. Machinery is in second, basically. And imports by category, and imports by country. Russia, we got, of course, natural gas. China, Germany, United States, Italy. There is more on that, and I will let you to explore it. I think now we can move to the next stage of our lecture in, of course, our next part.